Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing a PSB SubSeries 350 subwoofer. This awesome subwoofer. 12-inch, which is 300 millimeters. 300 watt, peaks at 3 times that, something silly. Is a stunning subwoofer. This is a category of subwoofer designed to be able to take all of the mighty soundtracks of home theatre and deliver them with prestigious control into your home theatre. Also the flexibility to be able to deliver the musicality of timing and punch and control that you would expect from some of the most dynamic music tracks. This is a really good value subwoofer and awesome looking in a gloss black finish. So let's have a look. Firstly, PSB boxes look very basic. PSB logo, designed in Canada, shipping information. On one side we've got a hint as far as the voltage that it's been designed in, 240. Gloss black is the colour option obviously. Basic packaging information, bit of weight, all of those warnings associated with stuff, and the serial number. On one side we've got obviously SubSeries 350. Now they do a smaller 250, so this is the 12-inch, they do a 10. They do a 450 as well, and it uses a combination of passive radiators and driven woofers to be able to deliver that next level of power and control. Nevertheless, this one hits a mighty price point, so it doesn't have that. Emulation of everything on the other side. Again, scannable information for the voltage and serial number, basic packing information, and let's have a look. So you can see with me looking over the top of this that this is a big box, and with that it's a big subwoofer. It's sealed closed with traditional packing tape, and if I just tilt that forward for a moment, you'll see the basic accessories and information that's at the top. So the first thing is a really basic warranty and setup. Ultimately, if you're buying something of this pedigree and quality, you're going to know where to put a power cord and what input to put things in. So it's just a quick setup. We've got the accessories, and if we pause for a moment, I'm just going to flip those open. And it's a boring old New Zealand power cord. Now at this point, with anything this size, the easiest, and to be honest, because this is 20 kilos, my recommendation is that you take the easy route and you roll the box over and lift it off rather than trying to lift the product out. So it's a very straightforward process. Just carefully roll it over. Grab the side of the box and lift. Now it means that you're left with the polystyrene in the bottom. It's moulded to the feet. I'd recommend you just pull out that polystyrene and check for any accessories or other freebies that might be included. But nevertheless, let's get rid of that. Now the next easiest thing is to identify the tape and other things that are holding the bag closed. There is a combination of a plastic bag and then a polished cloth bag, all designed to protect this beautiful piano finish. Once you reveal the feet, and by the way, even the feet are really well thought out. It's a combination of this very firm rubber, and essentially it means, now bearing in mind that there will be spikes and other things available as well, but the rubber is designed to acoustically isolate it from the hard surfaces that it might be placed on. So think about tiled floor or wooden floor. There's an opportunity for this potentially to rattle or chatter. Well, the foam and the feet that they've chosen virtually eliminate that possibility. Right, again carefully rolling that, and this is a behemoth. This is a big subwoofer. So we'll slide it carefully over and then roll it. Off comes the polystyrene, the plastic bag, the polished cloth bag. Now look at that beautiful piano black finish. It's stunning. I don't know how many layers of lacquer, but they have not scrimped. It's hand polished, and it's absolutely beautiful to see the care and attention with such a relatively cheap subwoofer. Okay, looking at it, just clean up a bit of polystyrene fluff. Right, looking at the product. Firstly, we see the PSB logo front and centre towards the bottom of the grill. The grill itself can be relatively easily removed. It's sort of, it's got the classic pegs and sockets for it. Realistically, you're going to use this with the grill on. Nevertheless, we'll put this off to one side. Again, it's held in place with those classic plastic pegs and an acoustically transparent speaker cloth. The driver itself, as I mentioned, is 12-inch, approximately 300mm, and has a very high excursion. You'll see a huge, big dust cap in the middle, alluding to the size of the voice coil, and with that the magnet structure in behind. This is a hugely well-resourced subwoofer. No scrimps have been made in its design, despite its relatively cost-effective price. You'll see the annulus and the curvature of the basket associated with holding that in place have all been designed to ensure that the sound wave travels directly into your living environment and doesn't get sort of muffled or trapped in some way with the housing of the woofer itself. You'll see also, as I tip it forward, that the cabinet is ever so slightly curved. What they're trying to do is eliminate some of that slap off the surface, which could potentially affect the performance of the subwoofer as the drive unit, the sound wave that is produced from the drive unit reflects directly off the front surface. You'll see that they've also curved this the surfaces of the top, again to try and manage that reflection. Looking at it, you'll see what work that they've done as far as to ensure that this subwoofer is relatively compact. It's almost a cube, meaning that they've worked very, very hard to manage port air and standing waves within the cabinet, all of those types of things. The very weight of the subwoofer implies the bracing elements that they've already put in place. I'll briefly sort of tilt it over again so you can see some of those curves and understand the work that they've gone into. Turning it around, we see the inputs and outputs and the control mechanisms that they've introduced. Firstly, we see a boring old IEC power socket. There's a fuse on the bottom there as well, a basic rocker switch. Now, this one has an excellent feature set with the ability to have a myriad of connection options. You've got both speaker cable in and out for left and right channels, enabling the crossover network on board to filter the low frequencies away from more modest speakers if required. Then you've got a series of traditional inputs paralleling in and out to give you the flexibility of sending this off to an additional subwoofer, or potentially going through a pre-in, pre-out of a stereo integrated amplifier or preamp. We have the ability to add left, right and LFE input, along with in parallel the left and right and LFE out. Directly above it, we've got a basic 5-volt USB for the purposes of powering a receiver associated with a transmitter and receiver kit for a wireless option. Please, if you're going to invest in something as good as this subwoofer, I would expect you to run a subwoofer cable to it. But sometimes you can't, and that's where those transmitters come in. There's a basic scannable information emulating the serial number off the box, and then above all of this, the controls. The first is the frequency range that we want to try and achieve. A subwoofer like this will always try to do its lowest frequency, and that's down to about 25 Hz, which is a really challenging frequency response, yet it does it easily. Nevertheless, this crossover allows you to filter, sort of manage the roll in of the subwoofer to best match the roll out of your speakers. Then we've got phase. Now this is where we have an almost infinitely variable phase adjustment, enabling you to place this subwoofer perhaps anywhere in the room and then account for its location with the phase associated with integrating it with your stereo speakers and ensuring it doesn't sound wrong. Then above it we've got the most basic, which of course is the volume. Be careful, of course, don't run things too loud. The feedback we get is, of course, a subwoofer is best set up when you don't notice it until it's turned off. And that's a really good sort of line in the sand as far as performance, as most people tend to run things a bit loud at first, and then perhaps the feedback is that it's a bit drony. Well, try at a lower volume. Try integrating the crossover and phase better, and you may end up vastly improving the timing and therefore performance of the subwoofer. Then we've got a simple enough switch. Now this rocker switch actually has 3 locations for the auto standby. So we've got an off, an auto and an on. And above it a tricolour LED to let you know what state it is in. Okay, there we have it. PSB's awesome and relatively budget subwoofer. The SubSeries 350. 12-inch, 300 watt, gets down to 25 Hz. This awesome subwoofer, very proudly unboxed today here at the listing post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.